it's hard to imagine Star Wars getting even worse after the third episode of The Acolyte. But now we've had the fourth episode. And the obvious thing that is on everybody's mind today is the he, they pronouns that they threw into the stupid series in a way that was completely nonsensical, which I'll get into in my review. But there's also 29 other minutes of this stupid series that really is nonsensical, that flies in the face of everything Star Wars. It just bastardizes the lore on every single level, all so they could have their little weird diversity fest. And it's really, really tough. I watched this so you don't have to. Thank you for watching this review instead of The Acolyte. I really appreciate you guys for being there. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really means the world to me, and we have a great science fiction community here. If you love this kind of thing, I appreciate you. I am a science fiction author, as mentioned in the title of this video, and this is my series, Justified Saga of the Nano Templar. I have a trilogy, much like in classic Star Wars form, which you can get on Amazon and really enjoy some action-adventure that they won't provide you on Disney. You'll absolutely enjoy this if you're a Star Wars fan, I promise. I'll have that link in the description below for you as well, so check that out, and thanks again. Okay, so let's get into The Acolyte Episode 4. In this episode, it is literally the Jedi sitting around debating, twiddling their thumbs, and then deciding to all go out and try to find this Wookiee guy who is going to get killed by May because she's now on the third out of 4 Jedi that she's going to kill for her revenge plot, which makes no sense. So they sit and deliberate. They're like, oh, you really shouldn't go. But there's really no... The thing about all this stuff is there's a lot of plot contrivances here. Like they tell the Asian guy he shouldn't go because he's personally involved. It doesn't actually help things here. And yet he just ends up being able to go anyway. There's really no real debate about it. It just feels fake. Nothing about this feels like the characters actually have any real motivations, that they have any real struggle or anything like that. It's like, oh, we better pad this out and have some discussion about whether he should go or not, because in reality, let's think about this. If he's actually one of the 4 targets of this lady's revenge plot, they should keep him safe within the Jedi Temple until they handle this. They shouldn't have him go out there on some sort of personal quest to save her or whatever. If she could be saved, and the Jedi are all Jedi, somebody else could do that who's a Jedi also. Why doesn't the Green Lady go? Because, well, she's a bad actress is why. But that's a plot contrivance which really doesn't make any sense right here. We're in a High Republic situation where there's thousands of Jedi across the galaxy. They know where the Wookiee's hiding out on some weird forest planet. It's supposed to for the audience, it's supposed to make you think about Yoda and Dagobah and give you those member berries. But they know he's there. They know they have to find him. Send a team of Jedi who are just not related to this situation so that this guy is not also put in danger. So that's what should actually happen here. Unfortunately, we have a plot contrivance. So he goes out and not only does that, but for some reason he says, and it's like the dialogue again is just to force the plot along. Not that it makes any sense. He tells Osha or whatever her name is that she has to go along with him for the Jedi to agree to it. Now, that makes even less sense because, again, she's a failed Jedi apprentice who is out of this. Her being there doesn't actually assist anything. Again, it just puts her in danger and him in danger. So this is a completely nonsensical plot line, even to start. And it's really slow. I mean, we just sit in the Jedi Temple while these people just talk about this for the first 10, 15 minutes, where Episode 2 already laid the groundwork that they have to go out there. So we know they're going to go out there as an audience. As a writer, as a professional writer, what you do is you skip exposition and you go into action as much as possible. Since we already know that they're going to go out there, the only plot thing that could have made sense here is if they did this in defiance of the Jedi orders, because the Jedi were trying to keep them safe, and they actually escaped out of there, snuck out of there. That would have been actually a pretty fun plot point. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. They had them follow orders, and they were nonsensical orders, and so we had 15 minutes of wasted episode even to start this off. It's what the heck are they thinking? which is weird because then we had 30 minutes last week of wasted episode where they just told the backstory of the two girls at the little lesbian witch coven, where like he had already told us like the situation in episodes 1 and 2. The Jedi was like, oh yeah, your sister died, or at least we thought she did, and so we knew the backstory, and then they showed us the backstory anyway. Now that is unnecessary exposition. That is amateur writing at its worst, and that's exactly what this entire series ends up being. So as this is going on, we have May, the bad chick, going out with her like Asian boyfriend or whatever he is, and they are hunting down the Wookiee as well. And she has all these contrived elements with him, which also don't make any sense. And he's like a fencing, like a poison trader or whatever. Why is he going on this with her? Why is he going out there? I mean, like that really isn't established beyond, I guess he likes her. But again, like they don't really have any real heterosexual relationships in this show because, can't have that. So it really doesn't progress on that. Now, if they really showed him being in love with her or something like that, again, they missed an opportunity to actually refine this. It's like somebody turned in a first draft and then didn't actually go through and like work on the character motivations and make everything make sense. So they go out, they search for the Wookiee. They eventually find the Wookiee, but he is, I guess we're going to get into spoilers at this point if you actually care about this. I don't know if anybody actually cares about this. The Wookiee, I'm trying to find a picture of the Wookiee here for you guys. Oh, this is all Jedi Temple crap. The Wookiee, there he is. He's dead. DED. And so obviously, and they did this whole plot contrivance where May was actually going to come to the light side. She realized she was going to turn herself into the Jedi. She was going to not be afraid of like the master who's making her do this, which has been hyped up for like 3 episodes out of the 4. And then obviously she's going to get framed because she knew she was there. The Jedi show up at the same time, so she can't actually do that. She stays in hiding, and then like the Sith Master actually shows up there. And this is where it actually gets interesting and exciting. The last minute of the show. All the Jedi are out on the planet. They get there too late. May got there too late. She's in hiding. The Sith Master shows up. And for some reason, again, this just flies in the face of the like Jedi lore again, like how powerful all these Jedi are and all this stuff. If you go back to the original trilogy, like Luke was like the last bastion of like the Jedi thing. He was not going to be able to be trained adequately. He was not going to be able to, really capture the power of the Jedi before. It was like almost a mythology about how crazy powerful they were, how godlike they were in their abilities. And the prequels actually amplified that. So if you go into it, like that's what George Lucas was trying to show, just how badass these Jedi were. I mean, they can leap off like giant buildings and just and just survive. Like, I mean, it was crazy watching just the abilities of the Force in the prequel trilogy. Now, of all these Jedi, and this is the High Republic, this is like their peak time where they're like at their best. If all these Jedi are at this point at this level, how is there one Sith guy who can just blow them all away really quickly? They can do nothing about it. They all just get like floored by his one Force thing. Like they're all caught off guard, even though they've got their lightsabers drawn. It makes no sense. It's a plot contrivance again. And so, but, at least visually it looked cool, I guess. I mean, this is where we're at. Like, this was 1 minute where it's like something interesting actually happened. It was, I'll give them credit for that. That's like your cookie, Leslie Headland. Beyond that, like, we are at a spot where, like, again, none of this makes sense. The Jedi are just shown to be completely inept, completely powerless, useless. The Sith guy is so much more powerful than a whole group of that. This isn't just like 1 or 2 Jedi together. And remember, this whole premise of this is it's really hard for this May chick to off any of these Jedi because they're so powerful, they're so amazing. Like, it's tough on a 1-on-1 situation. Now imagine like being in a 1-on-10 situation like this, like her master has. Well, gosh, I mean, he really is at a huge disadvantage. But no, they're just completely inept. And again, it just makes the plot make no sense. It's not even internally consistent. Like the power levels just vary on these people just based on whatever the plot contrivance is. It's really, I was watching this and I'm just thinking, gosh, this looks like a bad fan-made film, but like they got a giant effects budget to make this fan-made film. Like the acting's really stilted. The dialogue is really tough. It's all just like nonsense. And okay, let's get to the pronouns now that we've done the entire thing. So it ends there, by the way. So the fight didn't finish. The fight didn't even really happen between the Sith and the Jedi. It just ended. So that's where it's like, oh, cool. So this was a complete waste of an episode because they should have just gone to the deal. They should have had the fight as like the main like portion of the episode. Then like they should have like failed at the fight. So that the guy could escape or whatever, which is going to happen next episode. This is just a waste of a filler episode after they did a backstory filler episode. Like, I don't know what the hell they're thinking on that level. Now, the pronouns thing is another thing that just makes absolutely no sense. It is just current year BS. So OSHA or whatever, is meeting with the other weird alien. They have a little section in there where it looks like they're going to have an implied lesbian romance at that, of course, because welcome to the gayest Star Wars ever, according to Leslie Headland. And they're on the ship together. They see this little like ferret rat creature who's like their tracker to help them find the Wookiee. And she's like, is he or they with us? Like she has no idea. Now again, just this premise by itself, before we get to the pronouns, makes no sense because they're on a ship. They all have gotten together on the ship to go track down the Wookiee. So everybody there is on the team with the Jedi. So of course he or they would be with us. You dummy. like why would you ask that question at that point? It doesn't make any sense. Everybody who's there has been assigned to the team. So you would imagine they all walked on the ship together and saw each other in advance, or like got some briefing ahead of time at the Jedi Temple. Because are they just going out there haphazardly without even ever meeting each other? That makes no sense too. None of this makes sense. It's driving me crazy, all the plot contrivances. And this was a pronoun contrivance, so it makes it even worse. So now she goes there, and here's the next thing that doesn't make sense about this. So it's not he or she, right? Because that's what you would think, any rational person would think. If you can't tell whether the person is a male or a female or whatever it is, and, with animals, sometimes you can't, right? Because animals, you don't really know what they look like and things like that. Okay. So is he or she with us? That actually kind of makes sense. But she knows it's not a she because for some reason she has like the ability to understand this is a masculine type of character. So she has to like force the pronoun and go he or they in order to like push the transgender ideology. It's nonsensical. It's stupid. And it just throws you out of the entire immersion of the episode because it just doesn't make any sense. My gosh, this is such insufferable writing. This is the worst thing I've ever possibly seen on Disney+. This honestly is making Doctor Who look brilliant by comparison, just because the episodes at least make a little bit of sense over there. This is just like, wow. Amateur writing 101, the total destruction of Star Wars. And nothing happened in this episode. I guess the best part of it was only 30 minutes long, so I didn't waste my whole night. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out Justified, Saga of the Nano Templar, and the sequel books. You're absolutely going to love the full trilogy, how it ends up. And we'll be back soon.